Hey guys, and welcome to the new series. This is Seadogs Can Fly, episode 1, where the plan is to take Scarborough Athletic from tier 7 of English football up to the top flight and hopefully beyond. This club holds massive value for me personally. It's my boyhood town, I was born here and I used to go and watch them play every other weekend with my granddad at the McCain Stadium. Unfortunately the club wound down in 2007 and I was quite upset about it at the time, but they did reform under the guise of Scarborough Athletic, which is who we're going to be playing with. There's lots of details to get into and a history behind the club, as well as looking at the squad, the league and what we're up against. But before we go into that, please do subscribe if it sounds of interest. Click the bell so you get to be notified of when new episodes go live, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. It'll help the channel and I'd massively appreciate it.
12 years in that division and they're out.
Right guys, a really quick history lesson on Scarborough Football Club. One of the oldest teams in the Football League before they were wound down in 2007, but they were most famous for 1999's relegation, where Jimmy Glass, a goalkeeper, scored an injury time equaliser for Carlisle, which sent the Seadogs down. I was gutted, devastated. I'd lost me weekend joy with my granddad, but Scarborough Athletic formed. Came on the white horse. I think they formed in somewhat like tier 9 or probably tier 9 I think it was. They've had a couple of promotions in real life since, and they now reside in tier 7, which, as you can see, is the Evo Stick Northern Premier League Premier Division. That is a mouthful. They actually moved to their own stadium in 2017 because they played in Bridlington Town Stadium until then. The new stadium is actually called the Flamingo Land Stadium, but on FM for some reason they've named it Scarborough Sports Village. Capacity is 3,200 with about 500 odd seated, I believe. And as you can see, that's the little seated area there. So it's a lovely little stadium, really good pitch, and it's got a nice community feel to it. In terms of the facilities and what we're actually working with, we've got basic corporate facilities, below average training facilities, and the youth facilities are basic as well. So it's not terrible, but there isn't an awful lot there, in fairness. Right guys, a quick look at the league and what we're going to be up against. Your eyes may be drawn to FC United. They are 7-1 to get promoted this season, so that's a bit of a surprise. We're down in 18th at 16-1, so it's going to be a very tough season. But one of the standouts for me is Stalybridge, South Shields and probably Warrington. They're the top 3 favourites. Whitby Town is a massive derby. They are just up the road from us, so that'll be an interesting match. And in terms of budgets, we have 5k to spend on the transfer budget side of things and £500 per week for wages. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room there. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot needs doing with the squad. As you can tell, not a lot of depth. Couple of keepers. Thomas Taylor's going to be ideal, so I'm going to stick with him. But yeah, the defence definitely needs work. We're going to need at least one centre-back. We have no left-back at all, so minimum one left-back. Central midfield will probably be okay. We've got the likes of Chris Dawson. He's going to be very important for us. And then on the right, I'm going to be playing one of our best players, who's on loan, Kieran Glynn. I believe he is from Salford. I might be wrong in saying that. Yes, on loan from Salford. But he's quick and just a good all-round player. Our star player by a mile is Michael Coulson. He's been with the club for quite a few years, 3 years now, and he certainly bangs the goals in. Was playing for St Johnstone back in 2016-17 in the Scottish Premier League, so a real high standard of player. He also played for York in League 2. We have some old players as well. James Walshaw, he's 35 now, so might be a bench option, but he's taking up quite a bit of wage at £275 a week. My problem is I'm going to struggle to get players in, so I may have to stick with what we've got just for this season, try and add 3 or 4 players on and hope it's enough to get us up into the National League North, which is hopefully where things might get a little bit easier. Jumping onto the finances, we've got 68 grand in the bank, so not too bad. At least we've got some money there and we're not in debt already. And going on to the tactics, I'm going to try using a 4-4-2 initially. I'm also probably going to be messing about with this little system here as well. All depends how the lads do at the start of the season. I'll probably try both and we'll see how we get on. I've just pulled in here the players that I think will suit straight off the bat. So as you can see, we're going to need a centre-back, left-back and a left midfielder. We don't actually really have anyone left midfield to fill that gap, I don't think. Coulson, but he's going to be playing up front, and that's it really. So let's have a quick look at the first team players I've selected so far. Thomas Taylor you've already seen, but he's a good, well-rounded goalkeeper for this sort of level. Jack Johnson could play centre-back. I'm probably going to use him from the right-back position. We'll have to see there. The other centre-back option that I do have that may get played is Ascenso. He's not too bad. He's got decent leadership, tackling. He's reasonably fast, which will come in handy. Fairly good at jumping, so he might be a decent option, but we definitely need a good centre-back to come in. I've already mentioned Glynn. Quite excited about this guy. I think he could cause all kinds of problems down the right side. And Dawson's going to be our playmaker. He's going to be so vital picking out the passes. We don't have many players in the team of this quality. He's also got a bit of potential as well, actually. And then we've got Watson, Ryan Watson. He's going to be box-to-box midfielder. And then up front, we've got the big man, Michael Coulson. A lot rests on his shoulders. I'm hoping to bring in another striker to take some of the load, but he should still do well even at 31. Walshaw, he's probably going to come out if I can find a better option, I would say. At 35, he's just a bit too old. And if we go into the team report, you can see squad depth. So we're not too bad up front, and we're not too bad in central midfield, nor right wing. Definitely a problem there at left midfield, like I pointed out. Massive problem at left back. And then we just need a bit of strengthening everywhere else across the back as well, really. So let's finish up with club vision, guys. This is something I don't pay much attention to personally. I know some people do. I don't feel like it makes a massive difference. So they're saying to work within the budget. They always do that. The important bit is end of the current season. They want us to avoid relegation. Well, I'm pretty certain we can manage that. FA Cup, it's one of the early qualifying rounds. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. I don't think we've got any playing style recommendations or anything in there. No, we don't, so that's good news. End of the following season, they want us to work at a top half finish. Same again for the following season. I mean, to be fair, I'm hoping for promotions quite quickly if we can get the players on board that I am looking for. Right guys, I'm not going to let this drag on for too long because it's just an introduction to the team. Next episode we're going to look at transfers, and we're probably going to kick off with a few of the early games just so you can get a feel for how a team's going to play their football. As I've already said at the start of the video, if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get alerts of when we get new episodes go live, and if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I always say this, but it massively helps the channel. I'd love you to get involved in the comments as well. Jump in there, let us know what you think to the team, let us know if you think there's any players I should be looking at if you guys have jumped into this sort of lower level. Right guys, I'm going to sign off at that, so thank you again for watching and catch you next episode.